What is going on YouTube? I'm Lamont at large. Today I'm at the Wellwood Cemetery here in Long Island, New York, and I'm going to visit the graves of Julius and Ethel Rosenberg. Espionage. Oftentimes when we think of the death penalty, one crime comes to mind: murder. But there has been other crimes punishable by death in the United States: highway robbery, rape, treason, large-scale drug trafficking, amongst others. Now, even though espionage till this day is an executable offense, it has only been carried out twice. Meet the Rosenbergs, Julius and Ethel. Julius Rosenberg, unbeknownst to his employer, the Army Signal Corps Engineering Laboratories in Fort Monmouth, New Jersey, was a lifelong member of the Communist Party. It wasn't until the United States government found out in 1945 of his background that he was fired from his job at the lab. He had been recruited by the Interior Ministry of the Soviet Union. Over the years, Rosenberg had provided thousands of reports to the communist regime, anything from top-secret plans of prototype aircraft, bomb components, and missile diagrams. It is widely believed that the Soviets' August 29, 1949 nuclear bomb tests, which shocked members of the U.S. intelligence community, were made from plans leaked by Julius himself. In January 1950, the U.S. discovered that Klaus Fuchs, a German refugee and physicist working for the British mission in the Manhattan Project, had given key documents to the Soviets throughout the war. Fuchs identified his courier as an American, Harry Gold, who was arrested on May 23, 1950. On June 15, 1950, David Greenglass was arrested by the FBI for espionage and soon confessed to having passed secret information on to the USSR through Gold. He also claimed his sister, Ethel's husband, Julius Rosenberg, had convinced David's wife, Ruth, to recruit him while visiting him in Albuquerque, New Mexico in 1944. On July 17, 1950, Julius Rosenberg was arrested on suspicion of espionage based on David Greenglass's confession. On August 11, 1950, after Ethel's testimony in front of a grand jury, she was arrested as well. On March 6, 1951, the Rosenbergs' espionage trial took place, making the news all over the world. During the trial, the prosecution's star witness, David Greenglass, said he turned over to Julius a sketch of the cross-section of an implosion-type atom bomb, the same plans used in the bomb that dropped on Nagasaki, Japan, killing an estimated 60 to 80,000 people. On March 29, 1951, the Rosenbergs were convicted of espionage and sentenced to death on April 5th of 1951. In imposing the death penalty, Judge Irving Kaufman, the presiding judge, held the Rosenbergs responsible not only for the crime of espionage, but also for American deaths in the Korean War. The United States government offered to spare the lives of both Julius and Ethel if Julius provided the names of the other spies and they admitted their guilt. The Rosenbergs made a statement, quote, "By asking us to repudiate the truth of our innocence, the government admits its own doubts concerning our guilt. We will not be coerced, even under pain of death, to bear false witness," unquote. On June 19, 1953, Julius was led to the electric chair, and his execution went as expected. Ethel's, however, did not go as smoothly. After she was given the normal course of 3 shocks, removed the strapping and the other equipment, only to have doctors determine that Ethel's heart was still beating. 2 more electric shocks were applied, and at the conclusion, eyewitnesses reported that smoke rose from her head. And we're walking upon their grave right now. A very interesting story that I read about a few years ago. And this is the grave of the Rosenbergs. This is Julius and Ethel. They left 2 sons when they were executed, a 6 and a 10-year-old boy. That has gotta be horribly awful as a child, to have not only your parents both in prison, and you gotta tell a 6 and a 10-year-old boy that your parents are gonna die on a certain date. Now, I'm not excusing the fact of what Julius did, but, you know, there's been a lot of hearsay about the innocence of Ethel here. And her brother, David Greenglass, what a scumbag to out your sister like that to save your own turkey neck. Yeah. You know, we got to understand, guys, we got to understand that in those days, giving the secrets to the Soviets, that could have been, Julius here could have possibly had a hand in the deaths of millions of people just by giving whatever secrets that he did to the Soviets for them to develop the nuclear bomb, which they did. And let's not forget, in August of, I believe, 1949, the Soviets, they detonated their first atomic bomb, and it really threw the United States for a loop. And they were shocked that they even had the capabilities of dropping a nuclear bomb. And quite possibly, a lot of that had to do with Julius here. Thank God we didn't get into a war with Russia, because that would have been bad on both sides. Millions and millions and millions of people could have been killed. Nonetheless, rest in peace to the Rosenbergs. Payable on death is what I always say. Okay, guys, Lamont at large. I'm signing out. I will catch up with you on the next vlog. Peace out.